Hey guys, my name's Shock Dog. Today we're going to talk about The Owl House, a show made by Dana Terrace and published by Disney. I'm going to do a episode by episode review of the first season as a whole. Before we start, disclaimer, this is all of my opinion, please respect it and I'll respect yours. Also, this video is the first one in a 3 season show. I am writing this, Season 2A has not finished yet, but all the episodes that are out yet, or that are out, I have watched. Let's begin. Season 1, Episode 1, A Lying Witch and a Warden. This is the first episode of the series, and it starts with a battle between a giant purple snake and the good witch Exor, warrior apiece. This scene sets up the tone of the show, where it's going to be a dramatic show with funny bits, kind of like Gravity Falls. Then we cut to the main character, Luce, who is played by Sarah Nicole Rubens. Sorry if I get that wrong. I am not good with names, especially when I don't hear them. Telling the scene to her mom, played by Elizabeth Guten, and the principal, and we find out that the first scene is a book report. She tells it to the principal and her mom because we find out through flashback that she is a weird person and it got her in trouble. We get 3 flashbacks. In the flashbacks, we learn that she used sausages as guts in theater. Okay, pretty cool. And made a griffin with a taxidermy squirrel body and what looks like to be a crying pigeon with spider breath. What the fuck, Luth? I think you need some therapy. And she flips her eyes out and moves them up and down. Ugh, what the actual fuck? Kill it with fire. We find out that Luce has to go to a summer camp for people who needs to think inside of the box. Before we end this scene, we get this charm of a clip.
Don't worry, Mom. I won't let you down. No more weirdness. That doesn't count, right?
When I saw this scene, I laughed my ass off. Throughout the show, I thought it was like a Gravity Falls because it was funny, also could be serious. And like with Gravity Falls, it has some great characters. I'm going to sum them up more and more as we meet them. Let's start with Luce. Luce is a nerdy, outgoing, cheerful person. Throughout the show, she can also swallow more than she can chew, but a lot of characters will bring her back to reality if she gets out of hand. Luce's mom is just a normal parent, trying to be loving to their kids. We really don't see her much in the show. Later down in the line, you'll see her more and more, and she'll pop up through like messages, like text messages, and that's it. So we cut to Luce and her mom standing outside of the curb, and her mom is telling Luce all the things she's going to do in the summer camp, but we learned that Luce likes nerdy stuff, editing anime clips to music, and reading books with a lot of backstories and lore. But her mom just says this. This isn't how you should get kids out into the real world. Even though probably a lot of parents did theirs to their own kid. It's not the way if you want them to have some real friends. Have them go somewhere that they want to be. They'll probably meet friends there because where the place you like to go, people like you will go there as well. Back to the episode. I'm going to try to skip around a bit. This is supposed to be a quick summary of the episode, so let's be quick about it. Luce throws her book into a trash bin, but an owl steals it, and Luce chases the owl to an abandoned house. When she goes into the abandoned house, instead of seeing cobwebs and junk, she sees a tent full of junk. Luce sees an old lady screwing on the owl to a stick. When the owl passes it around for the last time, it's completely made out of wood. The lady starts going through the bag of stuff. That includes a phone, a diamond ring, and the Holy Grail, and calls it all garbage. Then she picks up those fake glasses with those eyes with springs on them, and calls it priceless. Then when she sees Luce's book, she tries to burn the book. but Luce steals the book and tries to escape from the door she came through. But the door closes and folds up. When she gets caught by the old lady, she has a plan to run out and under the tent. And when she does, she sees a world full of monsters, like she has never seen before. And this gem of a clip...
Oh, hello, little fairy. Are you going to tell me this is all a fantastical dream? Give me your skin!
Then Luce gets caught by the lady again, and she asks the lady if she's going to eat her. And the lady asks her, why would I eat a paying customer? The lady starts pulling out stuff to sell to Luce, like Crocs sandals, and that she calls a human foot filled with holes. Then a stick of men's deodorant and calls it a bar of green human candy. Then pulls out a black shadow bar box that only reflects sadness. Then shows the lady that the box is a TV, and other customers come over and ask to buy it. We also find out that the lady isn't human. She calls herself Ida the Owl Lady, the most powerful witch on the Boiling Isles, played by Wendy McClick. I'm sorry I mispronounced your names, but again, I'm not good with names. She is the most wanted criminal on the Boyle Isles. Then a guard comes over to try to stop Ida and Luce, but they escape on Ida's staff. We learn that every myth that humans made was leaked from the Boiling Isles to our world. We also learned that the griffin that Luce made in class was actually anatomically correct, and it also has spider breath. Thanks, Boiling Isles. You made me so worried for Luce. Thank you. We also learned that Ida can detach her limbs. We also meet the Owl House. Yes, it has its own character. The Owl House is a demon called Hooty, played by Alexander Robert Hitchner. If you don't know him, his name is Alex Hitchner, the creator of Gravity Falls. He is one of the greatest characters in the show, might I add. I also like when characters of a show is ignored because the character is weird or annoying. When Luce and Ida goes into the Owl House, we meet another character, the King of Demons. King is my third best character in the show, and also played by Alex. King is a demon dog, and he is my favorite character in the show because, look at him. You don't want to give him pets and hugs. The rest of the pilot is about getting King's crown back from a warden called Warden Wrath, and we find out that only a human can destroy the spell that is holding King's crown. When they get to the jail, we find out that the warden is locking up people who are not normal, like this guy who eats his own eyeballs, or this girl who writes fan fiction about food, and this horrible thing that you kind of want to drop kick every time she's on screen. The warden comes out and yells to the monsters about not being normal. Then he grabs the little monster and takes her away. Ida comes in and tells Luce the warden is busy. They go to a door and open it. When they go to the door, they see a glowing rod. Luce goes into the rod and grabs the crown, and finds out the crown is actually a fake from Burger Queen. Ida explains to Luce they don't have much, but they have each other. And if that crown makes King happy, it will make Ida happy. And when the warden comes back, he cuts off Ida's head. And then the warden asks Ida's out. Ida. Asks Ida out. Ida spits in the warden's face. Ida gets her body back and leaves with Luce. While they're escaping, the warden chases them. They help the other prisoner escape out of their cells, and they get thrown outside. Ida starts shooting magic at Warden, gives loose her staff to fly away, Luce sees the other prisoner and recruits them to fight the Warden. They defeated the Warden. Luce calls herself the Warrior of Peace, reference to Exora Warrior of Peace. We cut to the Owl House after this, and Luce decides to stay in the Boiling Isles with Ida and King for, quote-unquote, the summer. And Luce makes her bed. Luce gets a text from her mom asking about how camp is going. Luce replies, "I think I'm going to like it here," after King asks to sleep on her sleeping bag. This is one of the best episode pilots I ever seen. It shows the main character personality and faults. Luce's personality is a happy, cheerful person, but she is also, faults. Her faults are she bites off more she can chew and gets in trouble through it. And she grows throughout the show in the first half of the season, she is like who, what, and where. Because she doesn't know the Boiling Isles, and we don't know the Boiling Isles. It doesn't feel like we will always be apart from her. She is our eyes throughout the show. If we do not know what is happening, she does not know what is happening. We will never feel like we are out of touch with Luce or any of the characters, because what happens with Luce happens to us, because Luce is the vessel for our story. Ida's is a witch of many personalities and faults. She's a strong person that will do anything for money, but she will also not stab a friend in the back for money. She cares more about friends than herself sometimes, to the point of where she could die at points. And she's a good mother figure to Lou throughout the show, but her faults can stand out through the show. Ida is too cocky, in a lot of scenes it doesn't fit right. In a lot of scenes, like sometimes it would be an important moment where she could easily die, but she's like, "Ha, you can't kill me." But past episode 9, she's less like this, and even past episode 10 and 12, she gets better just because the voice actress, I guess, got in a better role with her. It's something doing with her voice, mostly. It's less of how she is written, more with the voice actor. But she also has a drinking problem that is called Apple's Blood. It really doesn't impact the show or the story. Now for my favorite character, in my opinion, King. King is a cute and funny character in the show. All the episodes that have him as the big main character for the episode are good, funny, or sad. He is voiced by Alex. The fault of King is that Alex, in the first 2 episodes at least, sounds like Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls. But after that, King sounds like a complete different character to me. He also wants power, but every time he tries, he fails and falls on his hubris. And Hootie, the funnest character in the show. Everyone hates him, and everyone ignores him. No matter what scene he is in, he will take the spotlight.
Doesn't get into any trouble.
All I have to say about him. What do I rate this episode? 9 out of 10. I rate the show, or this episode, 9 out of 10, just because, like, this got me onto the show. And it doesn't add up to, like, newer episodes, just because, like, the newer episodes is more story-driven, less than, like, story-driven and funniness. So, 9 out of 10 for the first episode of the first season. Hello guys, my name is Shopdog. I'm putting this part in as raw as it can be, because this is literally me jumping from editing to doing this now. I have my friend Jaden, or Jay, we call him on this channel, because he watched the Owl House, and I might get one other person to do this, but this is Jaden's answers to what I have been saying throughout the video, and this is also going to be split up into chapters, so you can just see my review only, or the Jaden parts only, or all together in a long video. So, Jaden, how did you find out about the Owl House?
Well, you kept annoying me about watching it until I stayed over at your house and we watched it.
I was not there for that.
Oh no, you weren't there for me first watching it.
Yeah. Which season is your favorite out of the two so far?
Honestly, probably the first one.
Any reason why?
Eh. I have to think of a reason. I guess it's probably because I think it's probably because I don't really know.
Out of the two seasons, I definitely have to go with season 2, but I do like the episodes from season 1 a bit more, just because...
I think because I'm looking at it from just different episodes, I like season 1 more because I feel like it has better episodes. But season 2 is probably a better season as a whole.
Yes. I like season 2 better because it more focuses on the story aspect of the Owl House instead of what season 1 did, which I really don't mind because Amphibious did this and Gravity Falls did this, which is here's a story episode, then here's a fun episode. And I can tell you which one's like this, like the understanding the Willow and Really Small Problems before that. Because the Really Small Problems was the one where they got shrunk down, Willow and Gus. Then Understanding Willow was more of a story-based episode.
I think you could probably argue that the shrinking episode is still technically a story episode.
This is true.
We get the little resolution to one of the villains.
Tibbles, yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think about the first episode of the series?
I think it was pretty good as this beginning, and pilots go.
Yeah, when I first watched that episode, I'm like, it's not gonna be good. The first 10 minutes when they first entered the world, I'm like, oh god, this is fun.
I mean, yeah, I think the starting was a little bit rough, the first 10 minutes once I got into it. It was pretty fun, learning about the world, just seeing everything, the animation, everything. I was sold on everything when I first watched it.
Yeah. Fun thing is, the first episode I watched, I enjoyed the start because it was funny joke after funny joke, and that was just golden to me. But when they're all trying to build up the story, you cannot really tell if it's part of the story or just as a joke at the beginning. But after that 10-minute mark, when they enter the world, you can tell which is just a joke and which is just the story. I think it's because I believe the actresses in the first scene and the second scene before Luce goes into the world is newer. I'm pretty sure they're new to voice acting, and that's my theory, is why it feels roughed.
I mean, voice actors always going to feel kind of rough.
I'm not saying they're bad or anything. I just feel like they're.
You can tell they're new.
Yeah, they're new. Yeah. If they're not new, then I don't know why it sounds weird. Maybe it's just Dana Terrace. Dana's I don't want to say inability to write because she clearly can write with some help, or I don't know. I'm just saying it feels rough.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The editing shop here. I just want to say what I mean by that. I mean, it feels so raw at the beginning because it's joke after joke after joke after joke, where when it is trying to tell the story a bit more, it doesn't feel like the story. And some of this is hand to hand, the thinking inside the box pamphlet. That's the joke in the story. But the problem is that when you're just watching this as a normal person, or just normally, sometimes you won't key into that in the first 10 minutes of the episode. I just wanted to clear that out because me and Jay both think that way. In the first 10 minutes before Luce goes into the Boiling Isles realm, you really can't tell that if it's a complete joke or the story. And besides the Albert thing, by the way, I'm talking about like anything before that, before Albert steals the book, and a bit after that, just really before anything magical comes along. I just wanted to say that so you guys don't crucify me if you're from the Owl House community, because literally I know some of you guys, and don't worry, I know, I see you every single day, and if I get something wrong or talk shit about Dana, you guys will crucify them. And I just wanted to say, I do not think Dana is a bad writer. I really love the writing staff and all of the concept and other stuff. I just think it just feels like a slow startup with too many jokes. But to be fair, I'm not saying it's a bad start. Like, from the beginning, like, I really like that. I just say it's feels more raw than it should be. Shut the fuck up, phone. Sorry. I just had to clarify that so I don't get killed. Have a good one. Continue with the episode. And I just realized something. I just realized, like, the interview thing was not over on my actual recording, so I'll fix that later.
Okay.